Few of alcohol and especially spirits such as gin, whiskey and rum. Pay more attention to this story because it directly affects you. The cheapest and smallest bottle of alcohol, popularly known as a quarter, that you are now buying at approximately 300 Kenya shillings will cost you at least 770 shillings once the finance bill is passed into law. The bill is proposing an increase of the excise duty of alcohol by a whopping 80%. And if passed in its current form, it will see the price of ordinary hard liquor double. And as KTN's David Muthoka reports, owners of pubs, restaurants and liquor stores are now warning that the bill, once passed into law, will chase away consumers.
In previous years, the price of alcohol has been increasing gradually as per the increase to the tax placed on alcoholic products, commonly referred to as sin tax. This year, however, the price of alcohol is likely to double should the Finance Bill 2024 be passed as it is. The bill is recommending an increase of the excise duty placed on alcohol by a whopping 80%. If passed without changes, the price of the cheapest 250 milliliter bottle or quarter of spirits such as gin, vodka, rum and whiskey will jump from the current 300 shillings to 770 shillings. The price of a 750 milliliter bottle or mzinga of the same will increase from 750 shillings to at least 1,600 shillings, and the price of a 1 liter bottle of the cheapest spirits will move from approximately 1,100 shillings to 2,300 shillings after the bill has been passed by Parliament. The government is adamant that the increase in the prices of mainstream alcohol will reduce the consumption of the drink in the country, thus ultimately reducing the harmful effects of alcohol among Kenyans. But alcohol stakeholders are afraid that their businesses and employees will bear the brunt of the drastic move.
I'd give a number maybe about 15-20% to start off with, as we wait to see how we are affected. If it gets worse, a lot could get a lot worse. You have to remember, during COVID, leave alone workers, we lost close to 40% of all businesses.
Stakeholders in the alcohol sector, including officials of the Pubs and Restaurants Association of Kenya, have also expressed fears that the proposals, once passed, could force alcohol manufacturers to leave to other tax-friendlier countries, thus rendering millions of their employees jobless.
We have big companies who are in that sector, who actually produce spirits, both in Kenya and Uganda and our friends Tanzania. What they'll do is they'll just shut the manufacturing in Kenya, go add volume in one of the other two countries, and just bring it across the border as an import. The product, now the price would not change to the local mwananchi, but the amount of loss we would have in jobs, in transport, in so many things locally would lead to reduction in collection of those taxes that we are looking for.
More fears that Kenyans who love the bottle could shift to cheap illicit alcohol have been raised.
The spirits that were 300 and something going to 700 bob, it's out of the reach of a lot of people's hands. So obviously those people will go where? To Changa or to this fourth generation that are being made in back streets where you don't even know what they are being made from. So when you push those things out of the reach of the common mwananchi, then they have no issue, because that person, let us always be honest, it's not a black and white where because now that is not available, the legal drink, they'll stop drinking. That's a lie. They'll even go and drink methylated spirit. That's why we have people turning blind and shouting Musizimeta.
The stakeholders have said that the government can still raise more tax from the alcohol sector without forcing them to increase the price of the bottle.
If I would go back a bit and look at 2023, there was a reduction in the excise on beer. And when this reduction happened, we had a 5 billion growth. So the government collected an extra 5 billion by reducing excise tax. And the government lost 170 million by increasing the tax on spirits. So when you look at it, we should actually see that this is not an elastic thing. So continued increasing of tax does not mean higher increase of revenue by the government.
David Muthoka, KTN News, Nairobi.
Thank you, David, for that report. And David says the price of mzinga is normally known will go up. And to